The Bible Story in 16 Seas. After God gave Moses the 10 Commandments, he told Moses to build a tent. This was no ordinary tent, because God was going to live in it. It was to be called a tabernacle. God was going to have a place to stay right in the middle of the Israelites' camp, and he was going to travel with them as they entered the land he had promised them through Abraham many years before. As the people journeyed towards the land God had promised, they didn't always get things right. They made a golden idol in the shape of a calf, which they worshipped instead of God. They complained against God and wished they were back in Egypt. But even though the people got it wrong, God kept providing for them and showed them love and kindness again and again. Eventually, the people reached the land called Canaan. God told Moses to send some men to explore the land to see what it was like. Moses picked 12 men, one from each tribe, to spy out the land. So, the spies left the camp and explored the land of Canaan for 40 days. When they came back, they gave their report to Moses, Aaron, and all the people. But it was not what Moses was expecting. 10 of the spies said, "The land is rich and beautiful, but the people who live there are powerful. The cities are big with high walls around them. We are not strong enough to fight them." They were afraid and didn't believe that God would give them what he had promised. But 2 of the spies, Joshua and Caleb, trusted God. Caleb said, "Don't listen to these men. We should go up and capture the land, just as God wants us to. We can certainly do it." But the fearful spies argued with Caleb and Joshua. "We can't attack these people. They are stronger than we are. They are so big that we look like tiny grasshoppers compared to them. It will never work." Who do you think the people believed? They believed the 10 fearful spies. Caleb and Joshua pleaded with them to not be afraid and to trust God and his promises. But the people refused to listen. They didn't believe that God would help them conquer the land he had promised to give them. What happened next was very, very different from what might have been. God said that the people of Israel were not allowed to enter the promised land. Instead, they were sent back into the wilderness, where they would wander around in circles for 40 years until a new generation, their children, would have the blessing of living in the land God had promised them. So, because of their lack of faith, they ended up dying in a dry wasteland instead of living and enjoying God's promised land. The Bible Story in 16 Seas.